Your body is constantly writing code you never read. We operate under the myth that thought drives feeling, but deep down, your joints dictate your state of being. Tiny shifts in how a ligament sits or how a muscle fires aren't just biomechanical footnotes. They are critical data points for your nervous system. Imagine kinesthetic input as an internal weather report. Your skeleton is telling your brain exactly if you are calm or stressed before any thought registers it. This continuous feedback loop, what scientists call proprioceptive patterning, effectively turns the body into a natural neurofeedback device. When that alignment happens, when the signals mesh perfectly with predictive models, we hit flow state, effortless harmony between mind and matter. We all feel like we intuitively know how things should move, but translating that feeling into actual measurable stability is incredibly hard. Here's where science steps in. The body isn't just a machine, it's an active feedback loop constantly running diagnostics on itself. Think of your proprioceptive system as the internal GPS updating its map every millisecond based on tiny shifts in muscle tension and joint angle. This allows for what researchers call somatic harmony, essentially creating a stable self-model inside your brain. Furthermore, movement literally rewrites your nervous system. Every deliberate motion subtly modifies that cortical blueprint, cementing embodied memory, a living script stored not just as knowledge, but as physical sensation itself. Think of your body not just as hardware, but as a constantly updating internal GPS system for yourself. It has how you know where your arm is even when it's behind your back. That deep self-knowledge isn't mystical, it's pure biology. This happens through complex neural feedback loops that create what researchers call the inner resonance or somatic harmony. When this system works perfectly, movement stops feeling like a conscious calculation and starts feeling effortless, almost predictive. It's like turning on an autopilot for your own being. But here's the wild part. When we achieve that perfect internal flow state, that harmonious embodiment, it doesn't just make you move better, which means something nobody expected for emotional resilience and self-regulation. How does a subtle shift in wrist angle actually fix anxiety? We're about to see how the physical blueprints literally encode your mental stability. Forget simply feeling your muscles moving right now. Think about how that constant It's far more intricate than just feeling where your arm is in space. We think of proprioception as a measurement, but research shows it acts like real-time internal predictive coding for the entire brain. Your muscles aren't just sending positional data. They are constantly whispering trajectories to your cerebellum. This cerebellar motor control system anticipating movement before you even consciously decide it. It's an embodied forecast. But here is where things get mind-bending. That whisper, that initial afferent signal, what happens next within the cortical maps changes everything about how we process reality itself. We all feel that internal knowledge, right? That deep gut sense of what's wrong, but we can put it into words or charts. We treat the body like a black box where feeling meets chaos. But what if your most minute joint shift isn't just movement? What if these tiny adjustments are actually an ongoing conversation between your brain and its physical self? Think of it less as flexing muscle and more like fine-tuning radio frequency on a massive scale. This subtle feedback loop, driven by afferent neural data, is what allows us to maintain balance. But the truly wild finding? that this internal script we've been reading might not be about at all. It could be something far deeper. The system we've tracked isn't just about movement. It's about self-regulation through internal calibration. Think of your body not as a machine you operate, but as a living tuning fork that constantly adjusts its frequency based on input. The subtle shifts in how you hold tension, a barely perceptible shift at the shoulder or wrist, aren't just posture notes. They are afferent feedback signals directly informing your nervous system's ability to stay centered and calm under pressure. Your takeaway is this. Before you try to fix a thought, check your foundational position. Find that precise somatic anchor point where tension dissipates into pure stability. The full research archive is at jmthomasofficial.com. We often think we have to force a mental shift or chase an external high to feel grounded. But true stability starts internally. It's about how your body communicates with itself in real time. Imagine it like having built-in, microscopic GPS that constantly corrects you before you even start drifting off course. That subtle feedback loop is proprioceptive patterning at work. The takeaway here isn't a complex exercise. It's noticing the tiny adjustments, the fraction of an inch where your weight shifts, or how tension settles in your shoulders. Start there. Listen to what your kinesthetic blueprint is trying to tell you about your nervous system balance. You don't need complicated protocols, just attentive presence. The full research archive is at jmthomasofficial.com.